1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
they probably won't. They're going to go down. But at least Wolves and Burnley, their fans have had 2 or 3 or 4 months, because they've had bad seasons, of knowing they're likely to go. So it's not going to come as a massive shock. But the third from bottom, I know West Ham are desperately keen to stay up, but they all are really, and you could argue it's looking a bit like Spurs. They're just free-falling, aren't they? Dropping like a stone with their new manager, not won a game yet. So their fans, I know, having seen some of the YouTube of their fans, that they're in a desperate state. I think Tottenham, someone said the other day, they last went down in 1977. I don't know when they came back up again. But the idea of Tottenham is one of the big clubs with this superb new stadium. A lot of people think it's even better than Wembley, the Tottenham Stadium. The idea of some of the smaller clubs, say in the Championship, coming to this 61,000 seater stadium is kind of strange, but it could happen. It could happen. Somehow I don't think it will. I don't know. It could be any one of those teams near the bottom, but I'm not sure that Tottenham will go down. I feel they may pull something out the bag. There's still 9 games to go, something like that, 9 or 10 games. So Burnley are definitely, I think almost definitely going to be going down. Whether Kyle Walker will go down with them, I don't know. Whether another club may come in for him. But yeah, he's been a good servant, as I said.
Yeah, he has been for England, yeah. Now, Levi Colwill of Chelsea. So they're saying he's trying to encourage kids to get back into reading for pleasure. This is how he's done it. It says the Chelsea man is funding free access to a digital reading platform for every school in the UK for a year.
Wow.
I know, brilliant stuff, isn't it? You know, you want to applaud stuff like that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But could we be seeing, and this is not negative, could we be seeing a kind of a Rashford move on there, getting involved in, we're not saying don't do it. It's a good thing that he's doing. But could he then become kind of a Rashford situation? I mean, that's my fear, really.
I think it's a good question. And let's face it, we only think, perhaps, as you were implying, we only think of the Rashford situation, as you called it, in a slightly negative way, because in his case, I don't think there's any question that it did begin to affect his football and his form. He went through bad spells of form, and he clearly got very involved, because as I remember it, he was trying to get the government to pay for school meals for probably all school children, something like that. And because they wouldn't do it, of course, he then took action against it. I don't know whether he went to court, I can't quite remember, sort of suing the government, but he made it clear he was going to fight on until he achieved his aims, which I believe in the end he did. But yeah, there was a corresponding drop in form, I think, eventually. And I can't believe if, for example, if Alex Ferguson had still been there, I don't believe he would have tolerated that involvement in something entirely away from football. Now, I guess it's something if you do something like that, and it's great that people have this kind of philanthropic attitude. They want to help, and they want to.
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Want to help, and they want to think of people less fortunate than themselves, particularly these wealthy footballers, and that's to be applauded. But I don't know, maybe the secret of that is to do it anonymously or do it without announcing it, keeping it quiet, because then you couldn't ever be accused of interfering. He's not likely to go to his manager one day and say, look, I can't come into training this week or tomorrow because I'm tied up with this. Or maybe it would come to that exceptionally, and if it's done quietly under the radar, then maybe that's okay. No one suggests that wealthy footballers or any footballers shouldn't give some of their time into the community. I know I've said this before, but at Crystal Palace they do just that. They go to a number of charities, and for example, there's a group of Palace supporters who have Down syndrome, and I know that many or most of the players have got involved with that for quite a long time, and that's excellent, because they become real to the people who idolise them, particularly in those sort of circumstances. But I think if someone's going off on their own, involving themselves it's not so much that this digital thing is political, but it almost can take on a political element if you're trying to fund something in schools, which in many cases the government of the day would otherwise have to fund. So yeah, it's a very difficult one, because I'm sure you and me would not begin to criticise the good intentions of a footballer. That sometimes some players get bad press and they don't always do the right thing. So it's brilliant and when they want to do that. But if I were advising the guy, not that he wants my advice, but I would simply say, as I'm sure his manager might say, look, you're doing a great job. This mustn't be allowed to interfere with your football career, because obviously we pay you a lot of money and we want to make sure you don't get injured, all the usual things. So if somebody said, no, it won't affect anything that I do on the playing side of things or football, then maybe that's okay. But you just get a feeling, if he's doing this for every school in the UK, that there almost is bound to be some extra requirement of his time. Maybe if he's doing this with a partner or something like that, a business partner, maybe that business partner can do those kind of extra things that have to be done. But yeah, so I would never criticize somebody doing what he's doing for good reasons, but I think he needs to be careful, because it could all crash around him a bit if it goes wrong. And let's face it, you mentioned Rashford. When we think of Rashford, I think of him as a very good footballer.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro sometimes joins us on the